have been a better movie?
Ooh, should have been a better Moody. Should have been a better movie is obviously Bloodshot. Should it, like, you have a good setup. You have an interesting possibility of a plot line. You have an actor that can portray the tough guy. But then they came out with the most ridiculous dialogue and the most ridiculous scenes.
But you weren't even sold on the trailer.
I wasn't, but I wasn't sold on the trailer because I heard the voices, I saw the acting, and the trailer was basically the same over and over. You saw him being shot and part of his face coming off and everything. So the trailers didn't intrigue me. When I saw the movie, I said, okay, well, this could have been good. This really could have been a good series of films, a new character. And they just really, like, Vin, buddy. First off, you don't have to repeat the line over and over in every movie you do.
He doesn't write the script.
I have a feeling he has a big input. Because why is it only his movies that are like that? But buddy, go back, do Furious 11, 12, 13, 14. Keep do Space, Fast 5 versus Alien. Do something. But stop trying new characters, because your new characters, the Witch Hunter, oh my God, stop doing new characters because you cannot do new characters. It was horrible.
Okay. So this is going to be a surprise for you.
Ooh, should not have been made.
Onward.
Onward, the big Disney hit.
Was it Pixar?
Pixar, yeah.
Okay, so Pixar, it was actual animation, it wasn't CGI.
That's right.
Computer graphics. I liked it. I liked the movie. I had Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but it wasn't epic. Like, it was okay. Like I get like the tear in the corner of my eye there when the tearjerker stuff happens, but it was just kind of there. It was blah. That wasn't Pixar quality.
You know what it was missing?
Goodness.
Musical numbers. There were no musical numbers in this. There were no funny animal sidekicks that went along on the road.
Well, you had the fairies.
Yeah, but they weren't like what is it, the chicken in Moana. Those kind of characters. Mm-hmm. Those side characters that follow the good guys along on their adventure. There was none of that in this, and it was just the two brothers. And it was a lot of sadness, missing stuff, and arguing. And so that's not fun to watch a lot of times. It got heartwarming in moments.
It reminded me of Up.
Yeah. I actually am one of the few people who really just did not like Up at all.
Like, I thought the first 5-10 minutes of Up, it was sad and very heartwarming. But it was kind of like for older people. There was no fun.
Yeah, there was no lighthearted, let's go adventure fun, which is what Disney should be. And
then when the silliness does kick in, it seems out of place.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Onward should have been much better. It was a Pixar movie.
Really,
Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, come on.
Yeah. Nope.
It was kind of meh. It was just a meh.
Yeah, it was okay to watch, but I mean, there's so many. If you were going to list this on Disney films, that would not be anywhere near my top 10.
No.
For animated films. Okay. Next category, please.
This movie really shouldn't have been as good as it was.
Europe?
Oh. And this is where I'm going to put Sonic. Of course, you had the original Sonic character came out, looked really weird. Nobody can accept it as Sonic. So the fact that the studio went back and redid all the visuals for Sonic, good on them. It came out really, really well done. Jim Carrey, I haven't liked a lot of Jim Carrey's comic stuff in the last little while because his shtick is kind of cringy to me now, but he came back and he was really funny in this. Also, it's a computer game movie, computer game movies are never good. And I actually enjoyed this for what it was. So, good on them.
All right, I can agree with that. I'm going to go back to The Invisible Man on this one. It should not have been as good. I saw that and I went, another Invisible Man story? Oh, come on, we've done it a million times. You know, Kevin Bacon just did one. It's like, it's been done and done and done. And then they did a twist. It wasn't just somebody becoming invisible and learning what to do with it, kind of thing, or reacting to slightly going crazy because they can be. It was somebody with a purpose that could turn invisible and was haunting their ex. That was intriguing. Mm-hmm. Although she jumped to invisibility pretty quick, my ex is invisible pretty quick. Like that, I can understand, like ghosts or something like that. But she came to my ex and invisibility pretty quick.
Yeah, but within the movie context, she knew that the things that were happening can only be explained by
ghosts.
No, by her ex.
And ghosts. But I really didn't want to go see the movie. I ended up not seeing it in theaters just because of happenstance. But I did enjoy the movie a lot.
Didn't we see it together?
No.
Again? We didn't see that one together either?
I was gone. I was gone on one of my trips.
Okay.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Next category. What we think is the biggest financial bust.
Artemis Fowl.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to go there.
Artemis Fowl for Disney. Disney was lucky there's a pandemic, because they got to get it this theater and didn't have to put it in theaters. They just put it straight to their Disney streaming service, where there was nothing else to watch on the entire Disney streaming service at the time. So people checked it out. So it streamed #1 and quickly died off. Word of mouth, horrible movie. Ratings, horrible movie. No one liked this movie. Had this hit theaters, it would have been one of Disney's biggest bombs ever, financially. And it deservedly so. Like some of the choices they made in this, it was boring, dull. We're talking wizards and fantasies and fairies, and it was dull and boring. And yeah, like even some of the, I watched it and they couldn't tell what was going on. It was just all over the place. And so yeah, it would have been definitely Disney's biggest flop in years and years and years. And it really is to this day, even on streaming.
Okay. I'm going to go Birds of Prey.
Shouldn't have been made.
It should not have been made.
And it was the biggest flop. It made a lot of money.
It made a lot of money. I think it lost a lot of money. But here's why it's the biggest financial bust. Is because they took a character that could have had movie after movie after movie, starting a new franchise.
Yep.
That's gone now. Harley Quinn is gone as a movie character for the foreseeable future. They're not going to make a Harley Quinn 2. It's done. And by the time people forget about how disastrous this movie was, what's her name?
Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie. She's going to be too old to play the character. So they're going to
She's got a ways to go yet.
Yeah, well, she's got to be getting close to 30.
Yeah?
Yeah, and so are people going...
But she still looks like Margot Robbie.
Yes, but by the time people forget about this and they try to make a new Harley Quinn movie, she's going to be into her 40s, and unless she's already Charlize Theron...
Unless they change it when she goes in and they do the Joker and Harley Quinn movies together, because they are still planning to do those. So if they revert to the original Harley Quinn that was in the first one, the Suicide Squad, they might have a chance.
That's why it's the biggest financial bust. Had they taken the Harley Quinn from the first movie and not changed anything, not changed the costumes or her sexual appeal, and just went with what the character was in Suicide Squad, they would have made bank for movie after movie after movie. Because, let's face it, it's okay to have sexually appealing characters in movies if that's what your movie is. You don't have to make everything for 13-year-old kids, right?
And actually, Harley Quinn was adult only. It wasn't for teenagers.
Well, this one was. And that's not who the target audience was.
I mean, if you think of it, look how many times she broke somebody's knees in this movie, you know, and things like that.
It was big fail, big fail.
It was. Well, that way it was. Absolutely. Like, the original Harley Quinn had sex appeal, she had an edge, she was slightly crazy, and she still had a soft side. The new one was just quirky, and that's it. The sexuality was gone, and the edginess was gone, everything else was gone.
We're gonna go with, in popular culture, what would be the Razzie Award. So this is the worst movie, in our opinion, of the things we've seen this year. I was very, very underwhelmed and disappointed with the rhythm section. This had kind of like a very raw, unfiltered recording, cinematography, visuals. It was just like somebody was doing it on a home cam. And the movie itself could have been a nice Atomic Blonde or James Bond-esque female heroine going from nothing to, I don't know, super spy or something like that. That's not what they did, of course, because it was based on a book, and I don't know if it did it or not. But this movie did not go that route. It just decided to say, oh, this is a drug addict, and within a week you're going to be awesome at everything spy related. And then it ends. It was just a very disappointing movie in all aspects. It was very predictable on who the bad guy was going to be. I did not enjoy watching the first 45 minutes of her drug-addled lifestyle. It was just a big flop. It was just, there was nothing good about it.
It was a blah.
It was, yeah, but I was disappointed. Like,
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a good females-led, kind of like a spy action thriller. And it turned into a self-loathing, drug-addicted, happens into circumstances, weird movie. Just boring.
Yeah, like whoever directed that movie and wrote the script for that movie, I don't know, find another career.
Yeah. Well, they did save lots of money because there was zero action or fun ability in that movie. All right, I kind of have a tie, but for two Razzies.
No.
I'm gonna pick one of the two. I'm gonna pick one of the two because this one actually made it to theaters. I'm gonna have to give it to Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island was just that disappointing and bad, and I would have been okay had they, changing it to a horror film. Had it been a good horror film, your fantasies come to life. And they couldn't make that scary. They couldn't make it thrilling. They couldn't have any kind of change where things look like normal are happening and it goes sideways. It was just predictable, bad, horrible. Horrible
Island.
Horrible Fantasy Island.
I went first. So this is Don's Best Picture Award so far for 2020.
I'm gonna give it to Sonic, because it was such a pleasant surprise because of how much low my expectations were for it. And I actually laughed at Jim Carrey more than I've laughed at Jim Carrey in 5 years in this movie. Like, just his dance alone in that movie was worth the price of admission to me. That is quintessential classic Jim Carrey.
Okay. All right. I didn't think you would pick Sonic as your favorite movie of the year.
Well, there's only that. There's The Gentleman, maybe? Or that came out last year, though, didn't it?
That was this year.
It was so The Gentleman, maybe, and then there was Invisible Man. So
okay. Well, Paul's Best Picture Award for 2020 is The Invisible Man.
See?
It was very close with The Hunt, but I figured The Hunt was a little bit too parody or spoofy.
But they did it with such a twist. That,
Yes.
Like they really did it
Yeah.
well. So
So good on The Hunt for getting my second place, but The Invisible Man was a movie that would appeal to teenagers because at this particular time of year, they bring out all their dumb horror movies and
February.
yeah, and all the teenagers go see them, and I don't go see those movies because they suck. But I went to see this for the channel, and it was really good. So, am I missing out on a lot of good movies that I don't go see because they suck?
No, because most of them do. Most of them aren't any good at all.
The lead actress in this was great. I liked the premise. The visuals were good, and
I like the twist of it's not just somebody who becomes invisible and lives with it through science.
so a movie that I would watch again, and there's not too many of those.
Yeah.
So that's our list.
There you go. That's an awful lot of stuff. And if you stuck with it this long, congratulations. We might have to do this in 2 videos. You guys can sit for 45 minutes and watch us ramble on in my kitchen for no apparent reason. But there's some of our categories. As we said, there wasn't a lot of choices so far this year because nothing else has come out since March. Now, movie theaters are starting to finally open up, and we're hoping Tenet. We're hoping
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted comes out. Mulan.
Mulan's not coming out.
But if they open up more theaters, they might introduce it early, like for Christmas or something. You never know. There's so much up in the air right now and so much uncertainty. But the one thing for certain is we'll be back next time with some more of these interesting videos. Well, we hope you enjoyed it. Why not check out some of our other content down below? And until next time, we'll see you on the channel.